Hi, everyone. My name is Jeff Hilder. I'm the central lead for Quantcast, and I have the pleasure of being here with Mario Mijares. He is the VP of Marketing Platforms and Optimization for 7-Eleven.
Yeah, hi.
Mario, great to see you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
How's everything going at South by Southwest this year?
It's always very cool. This is a great place.
Is this your first one?
I've been here before, but this is the first time I've been here with Brand Innovators.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. You're here for the full 3 days?
Yeah, I'm going back on Sunday night.
Okay. I've learned that this is a marathon, not a sprint.
It is.
Really have to pace yourself. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Would love to learn more about you, your professional journey. Talk a little bit about what's happening at 7-Eleven from a marketing perspective and get your POV on all those things. How's that sound?
Sure, let's go.
Awesome. So from what I read, you were an engineer by design?
Engineer, yeah.
So how did you switch from engineering and transition into the marketing role that you have today?
Well, I was an engineer, but my first job out of engineering was with a retailer, and I loved it. So I spent a lot of years as management consultant, consulting to retailers. And then when I left consulting and joined a retailer, I was part of a strategy team doing a lot of standard strategy things, a lot of Excel, a lot of PowerPoint.
Yeah.
And I turned into a Mr. Fix-It, and I was parachuted into different areas of the business that needed help. And one of the things back then that needed a lot of help was marketing, because marketing was moving away from being good with creative and being good with people, and now you needed to understand technology and data. And the marketers we had weren't really coping. So I jumped in, parachuted in, I loved it, and I've been doing it ever since.
Did you have a data background by design?
No, not at all. I was a strategy guy. I was good with Excel and financial models.
Wow, that's crazy. And how long have you been at 7-Eleven for?
About 6 years.
Okay, that's great. And what's been the shift in the strategy that you have seen over the 6 years, given the emphasis on data, CRM, retail media, all those things?
Well, when I joined 7-Eleven, the loyalty program was just getting to scale.
Yep.
And there was a lot of customer data, but nobody was really using it. Nobody really knew what to do with it. So I originally came in as a consultant to the new chief marketing officer. She was a super duper brand marketer.
Yep.
She came into 7-Eleven thinking, oh my God, I finally got the keys to the liquor cabinet. I'm going to get all the customer data that I've always wanted to have as a CPG.
Yes.
She came in and nobody was really using it. Hired me as a consultant to figure out, do we have any data? Is it any good? Why isn't anybody using it? And put a program to work together to use it. We hit it off. She said, you should come work for me. I said, you don't have a job for me. Oh, we'll make one up. I'm like, yeah, sure. And to her credit, yeah, she made up a job. When I started, I had one person in my team. And over the last 6 years, we've built all the tools, systems and processes that a retailer needs to be able to use and understand all the customer data they have. And we built it in a way that we can not only use it internally, but we also share it with all of our vendors, Cokes and Pepsis and Monsters, to make sure that we're both of us using the best, most actionable customer data we can.
Interesting. So from a privacy perspective, how does that work? I mean, this is like CRM, first-party data that you have?
Oh, yeah, we have first-party data. I mean, my team, I cannot access PII. I cannot access personally identifiable information.
Right.
And nobody from my team can. And I made it very clear to IT, I do not want anybody in my team to have access to that.
Sure.
So we have access to anonymized data.
Yep.
And then all of the merchant team can see aggregated insights from customers. They cannot go down to one single customer. Even if it's an anonymous customer, they can't. And the same thing for our vendors. They cannot go down to, I think they cannot go down to a group of fewer than 200 customers on aggregate.
Okay. And what are the different methods that you guys are using to capture that CRM data?
Well, that's the loyalty program. The primary job of the loyalty program is to compel the customer to identify themselves in the store.
Sure.
So our primary mechanic is member price. So we have the loyalty strategy is very simple. We stratify the customer mindset into three. At the beginning, the customer is in a mindset of, I don't really want your loyalty program.
Right.
I don't want your app. I don't care about your points.
Right.
No. Okay, I'll punch in my phone number to get a discount, which is what they do in all the grocery stores.
Right.
As they come into the store and punch the phone number to get the discount, we start issuing them points that they don't care about. They told us we don't care about your points, but we issue them points. And they get to a moment when they'll be at the checkout and the point of sale system will say, hey, with your points, you just got a free donut. Really? That's pretty cool. How do I get another free donut? Maybe these points aren't that bad at all. And so that gets them to the second mind state, which is hunt for points. And so we have a lot of mechanics with points.
Right.
Once they get hooked on the points, then we can move them into the third mind state, which is the personalization mind state, which is 7-Eleven always has a great price for me and the things I care about. But we always start with the member price because we know that nobody's really going to care for our points or for our app until we show them that actually there's something in it for them.
Interesting. So on that note, I know that your team focuses heavily on customer analytics and loyalty. So what's something surprising that you've learned on how people actually shop?
Well, we have a lot of tools. I'm going to answer this in a sort of a roundabout way. We have an analytics platform that has 5 years of data. We have over 100 million customers, 500,000 transactions an hour. It's a lot, right? And with that analytics platform, you can identify a lot of behaviors that the customers are doing.
Right.
You don't know why. So let's say that you have 500,000 customers that were drinking energy drinks every day and now we're drinking kombucha.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's an important finding, but why are they doing it? So we built this thing called the Brain Freeze Collective.
Okay.
The Brain Freeze Collective is our customer panel, and we have 300,000 customers that have joined to help us build a convenience store of the future. So in a drag and drop way, we take that 500,000 customers that moved away from energy drinks to drinking kombucha, we drag them into the Brain Freeze Collective, and then we ask them, hey, so you were drinking energy drinks, now we're drinking kombucha. That don't make no sense.
Right.
What's going on? And so we do the research. We're interested in probiotics. We're interested in gut health, and we use that to discover opportunities. Well, what if we do this? What if we introduce a probiotic energy drink?
Right.
Oh, dude, we'd totally buy that. Okay, now you have a plausible solution.
Okay.
But is it going to work? Launching a new product most new products fail. So to solve that problem, we have a beta test right now. We call it a lab store. It's a store in Dallas. It's a real store, real consumers. It was an existing store, has cameras everywhere. We can track customers, anything they do in the store. So what we can do is, let's do a small run of the probiotic energy drink. We will merchandise it in the fridge next to all the other energy drinks. The customers will come in. They'll think it's a regular store. It's a real product. It is a real product in a real store.
Right.
We can track the customers that pick it up, put it back down, ultimately what they buy. We're tracking, let's say, a guy with a red T-shirt. When the guy with the red T-shirt and the camera gets to the checkout, we already know what the guy with the red T-shirt did and how they shopped. When they get to the checkout, with the camera date timestamp, we match it to the loyalty database. And now we know, okay, the guy with the red T-shirt, this is 5 years of data of how they have been shopping. So at that point in time, we can figure out who is interested in that product, who's not interested in that product. Is the product going to be accretive? Is it going to cannibalize? Is it going to bring new people to the brand, new people to the category? And then we decide to launch it, then we can launch it more with less risk.
Do you guys really have a probiotic beta going on right now?
No, there's brands that actually, that was an example. There's a couple of energy drink brands that already have probiotics in them.
Interesting.
There's a beer that has probiotics in them too. It's actually quite good.
That's amazing. It is a GLP-1 world today. I was at a conference and someone asked the head of Chili's marketing, what are you going to be doing because of all the Ozempic drugs, this, that, and the other? And they said, we're not changing a thing. We are a gluttonous enjoyment brand and we're not changing our strategy at all. Thinking about convenience, 7-Eleven, from my own shopping experience, I'll go in, I'll get a big gulp on occasion, get some beef jerky. In this GLP-1 world, how do you guys see yourselves adapting to that? Or you really want to just maintain the strategy that you've had the whole time?
Not at all. We know it's a big thing, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things we do systematically in the Brain Freeze Collective, every quarter, we go out to the whole database and ask them, are you on a GLP-1 or were you on a GLP-1 from what date to what date? And so we know right now that about 12% of our customers are on a GLP-1 right now. Mm-hmm. And then what we do with that data is we look back in the database and say, these are the dates when they started the GLP-1, this is when they finished or they're still on it. Yeah. We looked at what were their consumption patterns before, what are their consumption patterns during, and what are the consumption patterns after. There's some things where the consumption patterns fall and then they rebound after then in it. So for example, food, I mean, obviously, food consumption goes down while they're in a GLP-1, and not only goes down, but they buy different things. Yeah. And then as soon as they're out of it, they go back to consuming more food. Sometimes with different food habits, sometimes the same food habits evolve. There's some categories that do not change at all. I'll give you one that was very surprising. We believed, candy is going to go down with GLP-1s. Flat. Chocolate, flat. Like GLP-1, before, during, after, did not change. Consumer, because that is not related to hunger. We asked, well, that doesn't make any sense. It's not related to hunger.
It's a treat.
It's a treat.
Yeah, exactly. I want to pivot real quick and talk about Gulp Retail Media Network.
Yeah.
How is that going? What's the strategy behind that?
Well, everybody's trying to do retail media, or everybody's doing retail media. What we wanted to make sure is that we didn't want to contribute to the problem of retail media being difficult to buy, and we knew that we're not be able to compete with the big guys selling the same things they sell. Right? Most retail media is first-party ads on first-party properties on their app or the website. Right? We're a convenience store. We do have an app. We have a delivery system. We have a website, but it's not as big. For us, the store is it. We have about, we publish some of these results, about 95% of our transactions are in store. Yeah. So for us, the retail media is primarily in-store media. And a lot of the products we sell are impulse products. Yep. And so what we've geared our retail media towards is in-store media with creatives that influence the purchase of the consumer at the point of purchase. Sure. The big push for us then was we made a choice, two main channels. The pump screens are going to be very important for us because if you think about it, and 7-Eleven is one of the largest fuel retailers in the US, the consumer needs to identify themselves before they pump gas, and they need to look at the screen before they pump gas. So that gives us a unique opportunity to, hey, I know who you are. You just told me because you needed to tell me to get your fuel discount. Right. You needed to look at the screen so you could fuel, and I can present something to you that's unique to you. And by the way, while you're pumping gas, I know you have some dwell time. So that's going to be a great channel. We're building it right now. In the store, because the dwell time in the store for shoppers is very, very short. Sure. We didn't want to invest in screens first. We'll get into screens later, but for us, the radio was more important because you don't need to be looking at a screen, and we needed to influence the purchase very quickly. Yep. So we invested in Gulp Radio. Gulp Radio is right now the largest radio station in North America. We stream music to every store individually, and we stream one song and 3 ads. All the ads are streamed individually to every store. The platform we use takes all of our sales data and all the ads that are available, and let's say that we have an ad for an energy drink, right? The platform then says, okay, this is an ad for these flavors of this energy drink. Where in the 13,000 stores we have is that energy drink selling? We channel the ads to those particular stores at the particular times when people are, this is all automatic, by the way.
Right.
The particular times when the stores are selling most energy drinks. And then every day we track and say, are we getting an uplift? Yes, no. And we streamline, well, where should the ads be playing, how many times a day and what times a day. The other thing we do with radio, and why it was very important, is because all the creative is text to voice, which means that it's really cheap. We can do a lot of different versions. And so we can do a lot of A/B testing. And in the same way that we track and we channel the ads to the stores that we're getting most uplift, we can also test the creatives. Did the one with a male voice or the female voice or the peppy tone or the southern drawl tone or the different accent work best, and we optimize to that. So, and every single campaign we do, using a test plus control methodology, we calculate incrementality.
Interesting. Last question. This year or next year is the 100-year anniversary of 7-Eleven.
100 year of the first convenience store in the planet, which was a 7-Eleven.
That's amazing.
It wasn't called 7-Eleven then, but it was the Southland Ice Company, which is originally 7-Eleven was called the Southland Ice Company.
And can you divulge the plan to celebrate such a monumental achievement?
It's going to be pretty cool. The only thing I can say, I mean, we don't want to give away, but we're going to be celebrating 3 things. We're going to be celebrating a history of firsts. 7-Eleven was the first place to sell soft drinks to go and big gulp. 7-Eleven was the first place to sell coffee to go, right? 7-Eleven was the first Red Bull ever sold in North America was in a 7-Eleven. So there's a lot of firsts, and we're going to be celebrating a lot of firsts and a lot of old products that were introduced to the American market through 7-Eleven. We're going to be celebrating culture because we've been part of the American culture for years and years and years. And we're going to be celebrating also innovation, a lot of new things that are going to come in. So nostalgia, culture, and innovation.
That's amazing. Well, Mario, thank you so much. Great to speak with you, and enjoy South by Southwest.
No, thank you for the time. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.